So, Jeffrey Epstein, World War III scares, AI taking over, a lot of flooding happening recently. How's your summer going, guys?
Man, it is crazy. I mean, I'm already thinking about the Texas floods, 104 people dead, 28 children. It's like, what's going on? You know?
You're telling me. I just talked about this on a recent episode, man.
I'm just trying to get 8 hours of sleep. That's all I'm doing. So thank God for coffee.
Yeah, y'all excited? Okay, well, welcome back to Just in Perspective podcast. My name is Mosh Rahman. It's a pleasure to be here with y'all today. I am joined by Mr. Andrew Melcher and Mr. Louis Villafranca. So, yeah, man, I don't know about you guys, but summer 2025 has been ridiculous. And if anyone keeps up with local news, or not local news, but if anyone has seen anything on social media at all the past couple of months, it's been insane. Okay? World War III scares that apparently was over in 2 weeks, and people afraid of AI taking over, job market, and blah, 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 blah. So, I mean, please share your thoughts. What do you think?
I mean, it's kind of hard to keep up with because there's so many things going on. You got my mom's calling me because people are drowning, and I feel bad, and I'm like, I didn't even know. And like, there's my friends getting taken by ICE, even though they're fully citizen. It's just like a lot of stuff going on, and you're like, it's like, where is there one place that I could look and hear and listen for things that are not biased? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrew?
I would also like to add, when things don't personally pertain to you, you know, we weren't affected by the flood. Mm-hmm. We're not affected by ICE, right? Yeah. But we see all these people that are suffering, and it's hard. You know, everyone's trying to gain perspective and empathy on people's individual situations.
Yes.
So, you know, when I hear of all these things going on, I seem very removed and very distant from it. But yet, every time you get on social media, you're just flooded by these things, literally flooded. So it's
that's not meant out of taste. I got you what you're saying, but it is flooded by that. And
I didn't even see that.
Are you familiar? We're not making light of this.
We're not
topic.
making light of it.
Are you familiar with? Okay, it's kind of a bummer to start with. I don't want to bum people out, but it's just a crazy summer. I'm not talking about just this one story, right? But in this, from June to today, which is July the 12th. We had ICE raids. We had protests countrywide, right? We had folks scared about the Trump administration, deporting folks, whether they are illegal or not, and protests were staged around the country. Then we had Israel-Palestine conflict overseas, and within a matter of days, the conflict is ended or something, apparently, which I'm not personally buying. And now here we are in July, and July 4th weekend was like the worst flooding we've seen. So the summer has been just ridiculous, right? Mm-hmm. It's not just me.
Mm-hmm. No, it's insane. And it's really frustrating is like having people kind of be so either black or white and not being able to have a conversation with them, Mm-hmm. Like they're so intense, so polarized that I'm like, I'm so turned off by so many people when I have conversations about certain things,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, I would say, with this, there's no discernment whatsoever about people being deported. And people are scared. I mean, these are families. These are people who work jobs that needs to sustain the economy.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have built their lives in the States and in America, and just to say, because of your history or because of your family that moved here, you have to suffer the punishment of being deported. I just don't think that's right. I think there needs to be some sort of reform to where we can establish citizenship for these people who are giving good things to the economy, and not just to be strawmanning the argument and saying, there's cartels, there's murders and stuff like this. You're seeing families broken up and crying, and being stripped away from, their parents, and it's you know.
What I mean is overall summer. Like, what I'm trying to get at is like, it's just the most wild summer I've seen. Like, I mean, bro, is Aliens coming next? Like, we might as well see that. Like I'm just saying, with the state of matters, what we've seen so far, I wouldn't be surprised if, oh, by the way, alien life is on Mars next month. But I don't know if the world's getting crazier or it seems that way on social media. And look, it's every day there's something. Okay, and one day is the protest, one day is World War III, one day is AI taking over, which is another thing we should talk about. But it's not just one or the other; it's everything. So I don't know if the world's getting crazy or I'm going crazy. But I mean,
you know, it's funny because in 2019 you thought that the COVID thing was crazy. You thought, okay, this is definitely the end of the world. But then this summer feels like, oh, okay, they just turn up the notch just a little bit. And I wonder if is this the way, like every summer's just going to get worse? It's going to try to top each other up, you know?
Yeah. So I think we are living, okay, look big picture, okay? 2025.
Yeah.
By the way, just to let everyone know, if you're alive right now, and if you were alive in 2000, which many of the audience will not have been, not to date myself. However, from July 2nd, officially we are closer to the year 2050 than we are to the year 2000. Did you realize that? We're literally in the halfway mark there.
Yeah.
Is that not mind-blowing?
It is. I think of songs from like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Oh my God.
It's just like, wow. Memes are 20 years old now.
Oh my
I'm
God.
28 already. It's like
36.
Wait a minute. We're close to 2050.
We are officially closer to the year 2050 as of July 2nd of this month than we are to the year 2000.
You know what? Every time I see myself in the mirror, I fucking see like this old man. I was like, who the hell is that? I don't understand where he crept up, like how he got into my house, how he got into it, and why is he not wearing any clothes?
Yeah.
People born in 2004 can drink now. That's
2004?
Shut up.
2004.
Shut up. No, they can't. Oh, you damn kids.
No,
No,
the
man.
kids don't know that Justin Timberlake was in NSYNC. That's how old we are.
Wow.
Dude, I
Do you
can't
know
believe that.
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you
of
know
course.
NSYNC?
Bro,
Um,
come on. Yes.
He doesn't.
I was like a boy band.
No, he
nerd.
doesn't. He doesn't know.
You know
NSYNC.
who that is? Yeah, he
I know
does.
Mirrors stuck in the mirror.
He might not memorize their fucking discography, but like he knows who that is.
Can I?
Yeah.
So, are you considered Gen Z?
Technically, I was
like on the
born December of 1996. So
Can I ask you something about Gen Zs?
What's up?
Why do they stare at you and not say a word? Like, I don't understand this. I went to a grocery store and this guy's just looking at me, and I go, "Do I pay here?" And he's just like staring at me. I was like, I don't understand it. It's like they break apart.
Like, sorry, you're representing the whole generation.
oh
now.
man, that's a load on
Yeah.
me right
Pressure.
now. I think they're just disconnected from reality. You know, they're just in their phones all the time, and they see this presentation, this persona of like people on TikTok dancing, and then they look at everyday people and they just expect them to give them that dopamine hit of like being entertaining.
Yeah.
And then they get so confused as to like, why is he just, looking at groceries in the grocery aisle?
Yeah.
So
So I'm glad you said that, because social media is a really loaded topic, and I don't know how to describe this thing, because it's a lot of benefit to the world, and you almost cannot live on the grid, if you will, without social media. But it has also done, at the very same time, a lot of like unrealized psychological damage to the psyche of most of people who are most first world, modern people who have social media. So I don't know how to really categorize this thing, right? Because you can't live without it, but with it, it's also radically changed us psychologically as people. So what the hell are we doing?
it's very reactive, because when you're on social media, you're the observer. It's not a dialogue, it's a monologue. So, when people are looking at you weird in the grocery store, they're looking for a reaction. They're looking for something to consume.
Yeah.
Whereas, in person, face-to-face, it's more of a dialogue, it's projecting, reacting. You know,
Yeah.
it's more.
I mean, I'm questioning is, do you think it's a net positive to society? Do you think it's a net negative? Do you think it's somewhere in the middle? It just depends on the person.
I think that your reality is molded based on your exposure to things. So if you live on social media, if you live on platforms, that's going to be your reality. You know,
Yeah.
if you're out in public and hanging out with people and, you know, being in group settings, then that's your reality. So I think,
True.
you know, each can be foreign to someone who lacks exposure to those things. But, yeah.
Yeah. What about you, man?
I like social media. I don't care. I enjoy it. I made a lot of money. I made a lot of money with social media, and I don't. I like it. Is it making people weird? Yeah, it's making people weird, but it's making people like really weird. I don't think people know how to interact with people. I don't. It's frustrating because I guess if you're my age or you're our age or whatever,
35 plus.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
plus.
We're not old, damn it. We're in our prime.
I feel like you had the training of being offline as well as being online, so you were very versatile to go on and offline. But I do think that the people who've just been online, they just don't know.
I'm glad you said that. We are the last generation to have grown up before the advent of social media and even the takeover of the internet. To be honest, I hate talking about this over and over again, but man, you may not relate to this, but I'm not trying to call you a young kid or something, but
a yuppie,
whatever, a guppy, yeah. Man, when you were 10 years old, 12 years old, you would leave your home and not come back until the sunset, and your parents have no idea where you are. There's no phones at all, and you have a bike. You're just biking around, and they're like, just be back when the sun comes down or when the light comes on. They have no clue where the hell you are. You could be anywhere. You could have been kidnapped, for God's sake. They don't know.
No. You had to carry quarters to call. Like, now I don't know what to do with my quarters. You know, like, but you had to carry quarters. You had to have a little calling card. Remember the calling cards?
Wait.
Oh,
what?
This is before you.
The hell is that?
So before, you used to buy a card with money on it, and then you would call the phone.
Oh, like prepaid.
Okay, yeah, prepaid cards.
You get minutes. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I do know what you're talking about. I
I
misheard.
was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, we don't even have the concept of money anymore. I mean, you know, you're not pulling out bills and coins. You're just literally beeping your phone to a thing using Apple Pay.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't even think twice about how much you're spending, you know?
Nope.
And what really just gets me is people with their cash apps on the back of their cars when it's their birthday. Cash app me. It's like, who the hell are you? You know, like.
Ooh.
But you know, it's funny, they make money.
They make money, dude.
Maybe I should do that, actually.
I know. Just advertise, here's my cash app. Just send me money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we live in that time. I remember when Venmo was new and it's online transaction and it's used through social media, and when you're trying to send money to someone, the easiest thing to do is have a Venmo account and just connect with them. That's even before Cash App, I guess. And I remember like a guy who we went out with a bunch of folks, and one dude, I was like, okay, how much do I owe you? I'm like, I'll just Venmo you. And he's like, what's Venmo? I was like, oh, it's just payment transaction through social media. It's like, I don't know, man. That sounds weird. Or what if I just pay you cash? Like, he had that mentality of the old school, like, let me find out how much cash it is. Let me go get the ATM card and shit. You know, like that's gone, man. It's
Taking
gone.
out cash. Oh my god.
What's cash? What's this monetary fund you talking
I feel
about?
like when people give me cash, I feel like it's a hassle. I'm like, oh my gosh, now I have to carry this shit around. Like, I had $5 in my account. I just wanted to get rid of it. You know.
That's crazy, man. I remember having cash on me. I remember used to withdrawing cash but setting a budget, like don't withdraw more than this, so just spend this for however long, and because otherwise the card, there's no like physical limit. Like if you just, I mean there is a limit, but like nothing is stopping you to just keep pulling out the card to pay for stuff, except for the knowledge of your card saying it's declined or something, right, from the bank.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean You're right. So the concept of money has changed. Our relationships with each other has changed. Social media has made us feel like we can't even have like, nobody can just sit down and just be bored anymore. Right. And if you don't have social media, you practically don't exist to most of people. So yeah, like I'm just wondering, is it overall positive, or is it just strictly dependent on the individual, and that's all? Because it's hard to quantify, right?
I mean, I think that things are created for us. We have these structures, Venmo, PayPal, Zelle, and we don't take initiative to do things ourselves. Like I'll take cooking, for example. You know, you want to cook something. We have like little garlic pressures, Betty Crocker 3000, like all these tools that are like, who makes bread anymore? You know what I mean?
What the hell is bread?
Yeah, bread used to be like...
You mean cash? You mean money?
No, like actual bread. And, you know, just restaurants and eating out and not taking... You know, food is so much more satisfying when I cook it.
Okay, is anyone else tired of the freaking scan the QR code to see the menu thing? Because, like... That used to be innovative and cool, but I'm like, bro, can I just get an old school menu that I can flip through, please?
Yeah, you can thank COVID for that. Yeah.
COVID did make that thing.
You don't want germs on, you know.
Oh, my God. Like, no one gave a shit before that. No one. And now it's like, I don't even know where the QR code is. And I'm like, I just want a physical menu. But, yeah, that's a sign of the times, you know? Yeah.
Things are changing.
Speaking of cooking, on this next section, I would like to call "Are We Cooked?" Because, yeah, man, I have a feeling we're cooked in a few ways. Okay, so if anyone has been under a cave or under a rock the past few years, or have not been on social media or YouTube at all, okay, for you, which I doubt anyone who's watching this or listening to this has, guess what? Right, worldwide and U.S., there's a record low fertility rates that have never before in history have been reached. Okay, to give you an idea, the WHO says the standard fertility rate for a growing society for future generations is 2.1 babies per woman. In the U.S. right now, it's like 1.6. You know which country is really screwed? South Korea. 0.7.
Wow.
Fertility rate.
Yeah.
That country could not exist in 2 to 3 generations if they don't turn things around. Okay.
I gotta go over there and help them out.
It's
Send Louis V out there.
Send Louis V out
say
there.
fertility.
I still got some swimmers left in there.
There you go.
So yeah, fellas, South Korea's calling. Okay, if that's your cup of tea.
What's their ranking on Olympic swimming? You know? We need the stats on that.
You know, the first girl that showed interest in me was Korean, so.
So
Yeah.
안녕하세요.
y'all really didn't know that? Okay, so
No.
I'm here to educate y'all. So anyway, record low fertility rates. It's globally, but South Korea is just the worst example. Okay, divorce rates are high, and they're higher than ever. Okay, it's not before you decide to hitch. I know, to my family's chagrin, I understand, but the facts are the facts. It's like a 55% plus in the West, in U.S. and U.K. and everything. Okay, and guess what? Did you know which gender initiates divorce on a higher percentage?
Oh, I know.
I guess women.
Females.
Yeah, definitely women.
You know how high the percentage is? About 70% of the time.
Wow.
That's a lot.
70% of the time of heterosexual relationships, marriages, that they initiate the divorce. Now, why that is, for what reason, that's not really the goal of this discussion. It's just, it is what it is. And there are a lot of channels that go into that. And if you're online, you can definitely check those out.
Do you think that's more pre-children or post-children that the divorce?
Ooh,
It
okay.
definitely goes up.
That's a good question. I don't have I don't know the statistical breakdown of pre versus post children. I just know overall between male and female, that's the stats.
Yeah.
I don't know the difference, but that's a good thing to look into. But so record low fertility rates, rising divorce rates, lesser people, not to like call people out, but like I think none of us are in a serious relationship at the moment. And even though we're all
single as a Pringle.
we're all
Hit
trying.
me up, ladies.
Sure. Yeah. Hit us up. And and dating apps didn't exactly do us favors, by the way. Did you know how much? Question, gentlemen. Do you know the percentage of times that that males swipe right on average?
Probably more.
It's 50% or
Yeah.
more.
I would say 1 out of 2 at least.
Yeah, we're a little bit
You
more
know-
acceptable.
You know the
Especially
average.
on those dark nights.
You know,
I mean, my experience, I swipe
Calm down.
first and filter after. I just see who I match with, you know.
and you know what it is from the female perspective. 20% of the time they swipe right.
Yeah.
So those is those statistics lining up for both genders? No, right? Are we cooked?
I think we are. I mean, I think we've gotten less in approaching women, and we don't do it anymore as much as we used to. Those who do are good. But because of social media, they're comparing you to 1,000 people. Before, it was just five guys in your village. Now it's like 1 million people all over the world that you're competing with. It's
Yes.
So it's no longer like Jose or it's my village, Jose or Pedro. It's now like everybody, even Mosh.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, you have,
go ahead.
social media validation. Majority of, from the women's perspective. And then you have access to hypersexuality pornography from the men's perspective. So
More than ever in history.
yeah, you don't have to go out and pursue that or search for that. It's just right
Guys
there.
are getting
It's at
lazy,
your fingertips.
And women are getting pickier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good. And not only that, has anyone been to an in-person singles event at all?
Yeah.
I'm sure you have. We have because we're 35 plus. But
Yeah.
Mr. Young Guy, how about you?
Oh man, I mean a few, but people get into relationships and married, and then they're like, they still want to host it,
Yeah.
So,
But your thoughts of like your experience attending them, how do you feel?
I would definitely say it's a more friendly vibe. The focus is more on like the activity rather than,
What kind of activity did you do?
getting together.
I'm curious.
It could be anything from eating out, playing pickleball,
Oh, pickleball's a good one. Or
yeah.
those running
Nice.
clubs.
running clubs, hiking, all that stuff that people's into. But
Yeah.
they basically form around interests, activities that people want to do.
Right. And that's better to connect people based on similar interests than just speed dating. I think speed dating personally is a waste of time, if you ask me.
I've never
Because
done speed dating.
I
I've
haven't.
done these speed dating.
Please tell us about it. But I think it's a waste of time because you're going through just a large quantity of folks. Hi, hello. Can you really get to know someone in 2 minutes? In 60 seconds? My name is this. I do this. I live here. I like puppy dogs. I like this movie. Who cares? That has nothing to do with the relationship, right?
Yeah.
And you don't get to know anyone in 2 minutes, and then you just cycle through a bunch of people, and then you may get a certain number of numbers, or you may not. So I don't think it works.
I think you can, if you've ever had to interact with people in a short amount of time and make a decision on somebody, you have that skill, right? When I did it, I could tell like 75 to 80% of them were not good matches. But the two that were, and we exchanged numbers, they just didn't go anywhere.
Right.
Because, it's just...
I think it's online dating in person. I
Yeah.
think it's the swiping thing in person.
Yeah.
You're doing the same shit because you're still you view a surface level view of someone, right? Okay. First of all, as a guy, let's be real. The first thing we care about is, are we attracted physically to this person, to this girl, right? And you may not like it, you may not appreciate it, but men value beauty, and men are visual creatures. Okay, let's just be real, and we're not going to sugarcoat that. And so the first thing is you look for that. Then you look at, okay, what's their interests or what location, date of birth, background, education if you care, etc. Right? So it's still high level stuff. That doesn't tell me who you are. That tells me what you are. And
Right.
we all have profiles. You have a profile, I have a profile, and when you're looking for a job, you have to have a profile and all that stuff, right? But I know folks who are going to single events right now, but their mentality is the same. They believe that by literally going through numbers of people without updating their mindset or their view of the game, that think is going to be different. I don't think so.
Yeah, and I'd like to add, it's really about the presentation and the persona, more about expressing your true self,
Yeah.
right? Because as you get to date, know a person, you understand their flaws, you get to really know what's them, and then you're like, who's this person that initially, presented themselves? Because it's more about the catch. It's more about catching the person and going on that second date than it really is. You want to attract people for who you really are,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
not what you display.
It's tough, man. It's weird. It's we live in this. Okay, goes back to social media. Okay, you cannot have a business without social media. You can't have a presence without social media. It's a catch-22. However, social media could be a big time waster. It could suck time and energy out of you that you don't necessarily need to do it. And the addiction, like I don't have a TikTok. I don't have a TikTok in how do I say it? Like I decided no TikTok because I already have 4 or 5. I already allocated a certain amount of time to each. So if I get a TikTok, I'm really screwed time. And you got work to do, you got goals to go after, etc. So I decided no TikTok for me. But if you want to build something, you're gonna need a TikTok. You're gonna need presence.
Yeah,
Catch-22.
social media influence for sure.
Right?
Yeah, you kind of need it. Even when you're applying for work, they want to see where you're at. LinkedIn profile.
Yes. You have to have one.
Yeah, and I curate my Instagram because I don't put anything personal on my Instagram. If you look at my Instagram, it's a beautiful feed of pictures, but I'm not really telling you what I do because I got too many different types of people watching me.
Because bet your ass HR is going to be looking at your personal profiles and seeing what you really like.
When I hired people, that's what I did.
Yep.
I'm glad you mentioned Instagram. Can we people think Instagram is real life. It isn't.
It's not.
But
Curated.
But tell me you've never been to a restaurant or a place where a bunch of people are hanging out and you haven't seen people taking a bunch of selfies or like posing for a bunch of pictures. Like they believe the reality is Instagram.
Oh yeah, first thing they do is take a picture of their food before they eat it.
Okay, fine. I'm guilty of that. I'm a millennial. I've done that, but that's it.
Yeah.
Is that what we are? Are we millennials?
Yeah, man, we're millennials, dude. What the hell you think we are?
I don't know.
Boomers?
Boomers. I think I'm on the cusp.
Now you're millennial,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
I think I'm on the cusp.
It's 1983 to 1996.
Well, the term millennial will become an old term.
Oh, shit.
Just like
Why'd you have to say
when
that?
people say modern times, like the classical era, right? When you said classical in the classical era, that was cutting edge time. So when people say millennial, they're going to think of that word like boomers.
Thank you, sir, for making me feel a lot better about my.
Can I ask do you use Snapchat?
Do I use Snapchat? Of course I do.
I got off it.
I want to know, how do you use Snapchat? Because I use Snapchat, but only for certain reasons.
I mean, the number one
Girls.
thing
Yes.
people are always concerned about on Snapchat is read receipts.
Yeah.
They want to see if you read the message. Being left on read, that is like ultimate disrespect.
So you use it as a messaging thing.
Yes,
text.
messaging, and also, conversations don't necessarily need to be saved. So it kind of
Nope.
feels like a safe space. You can kind of say
Censoring
what
pictures.
you want, but you're also trusting the person not to save the messages
I'm glad you
or
said
not to have an extra phone to take a picture of the messages and show their friend.
Did you know that Instagram is now considered for old people?
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's
it's
a-
the new Facebook.
It,
for
yeah, it's
sure.
the new Facebook.
What's a
Yeah.
Facebook?
Facebook now is like.
What's MySpace?
What's that?
know,
What's the
like-
internet?
So what's
but-
after Snapchat?
This is okay. Literally in college, 14 years ago, unfortunately, I sarcastically asked the question to a professor. Oh yeah, just get the VCR and play this tape to look at the mic. Wait, what's a VCR? What? How could you not? I'm kidding. I know what a VCR is. I grew up with that. But that's the same feeling I have now with like, oh God, with
Yeah.
thinking Instagram is considered old fashioned. My God.
I know. But yeah, I just want to add to Snapchat with the read receipts, It used to be that you had to open the message to read it.
Yeah.
And now you can swipe on the message, you can peer at it just a little bit, and then you can swipe back and it doesn't show you've read the message. So a lot of, because, you know, especially girls that I've snapped, you know, they always do that. They will peek at the message, see if they want to reply. So they don't have to send that red receipt. But at the same time, there shouldn't be red receipts, you know, because...
I turn those things off. I don't want people to know.
Oh, absolutely.
So in other news, in other words, we are cooked. Bro, okay, I just saw a post that Gen Z, don't quote me, I saw this on social media. Gen Z considers answering with K is considered passive aggressive,
Absolutely.
or liking a message, like a thumbs up like is passive aggressive. But like we all kind of do it, but it's weird. This is a social media thing, right?
Well, how the hell are you supposed to say you saw it? I don't want to respond to every fucking text message.
Exactly. So it's a slippery slope, man. Because like, okay, I talked about this. Like, technology has forever changed us. However, it is just a tool to make our life easier. That's it. It's just a tool. The car was a tool to make our life, to transport us. The wheel was the first tool. Whatever, right? But we people have fundamentally changed psychologically because of it, right? And the way that history has gone is innovation first, then society changes later. Society reacts later to it, right? So, like remember checking your email was like a big thing, like Yahoo Mail or whatever, and now like nobody cares, I guess.
You got mail.
Exactly.
It's literally about junk.
Nobody
There's
cares.
so many ads and junk mail. I don't even.
Yeah.
And it's funny because some people still send out email like advertisement, and I'm like, who's reading these things?
Yeah.
As soon as I see someone like
All
something,
spam.
I just throw it away.
All spam.
Yeah.
I don't even look at it. I don't even open it.
Yeah.
I have a specific emails for those emails.
So the Snapchat, okay. If people care about red receipts, that is this. Okay, spoiler alerts. If you have an iPhone, the first thing I do with the new contact is turn off red receipts. I'm done with red receipts. No one except my parents or family or people I care about deserves red receipts. I don't care. I'm not playing this passive aggressive game, going back and forth. Did you read my message? I don't give a shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Whether or not you choose to respond is on you, the person, the recipient. I send the message. I used to read into it a lot. I used to care about like, why aren't you responding or whatever. But
having expectations.
you have to learn to like, just stop caring. Who cares? Because like, I can't make you respond. Not you specifically, but anyone. Maybe you.
Yeah, maybe. I'm really bad at that. No, I am really bad.
So, but the red receipts doesn't help us. It actually makes it worse because
Makes
like
you anxious.
it makes you it creates the anxiety. Like
Absolutely.
But Apple's like, yo, this should make it easier for people to see who read it. It's doing the opposite. It's doing like a anxiety creating little feature on your fucking phone. You know?
And the way that you laugh, like LOL versus LMAO versus LMFAO, sending K,
Shots.
you know, especially if you put a period at the end of your sentence, that means you're very serious. You want them to take.
Oh my god!
If
People
you
care
don't,
about periods.
yes.
Oh my
Absolutely.
god. Yeah, we're
I
cooked.
did not know that.
And emojis using to express emotions. I mean,
Yeah.
it's essentially hieroglyphs, right? Because you can't. It's harder to express emotions through text than it is through phone calls.
You know, I had a girl say, I met on Hinge, and she was like, I didn't think you were real because you were using good grammar. And I'm like, oh, well, I normally don't. So.
Are you serious?
She probably thought you were an AI chatbot. You know?
I did
this
use
AI?
ChatGPT though,
Oh my
because
God.
I was so busy. I was like,
Oh wow.
Yeah. No, guys will use ChatGPT to respond to women sometimes.
yeah, because
They'll be like, "Oh my God, she sent me this text. Like, how do I reply to it? Let me just pull up, AI."
So if you haven't noticed by
women
now,
have a lot of icks.
if you haven't noticed by
Yeah.
now, we're outsourcing our brain in terms of
Yeah.
communication to freaking AI. So if that's not the definition of are we cooked, I don't know what is.
Yeah,
Right?
having things.
I mean,
think for
okay,
us.
look, man, it's not all doom and gloom, right? This is all technology. We're part of a world. We didn't invent it, but like we are part of a society and we have to use it for our own purposes. And any tool is, it goes back to the argument, like, is it the tool or is it the user of the tool? Right?
Right.
Because like you can drive a car to transport you from A to B. You can also drive a car to cause death and destruction. Do you see my point?
Yep,
It's the same. It's the same. It doesn't take away from the purpose of the tool. It's just the person behind it.
It's the intention behind the tool. But unfortunately, the circumstance of modern tools is that these tools are now creating intention. So you don't even have to think
Yeah.
about the intention.
Exactly.
It's just doing it for you.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Exactly, man. I mean, by the way, millennials, we should be proud of ourselves because we didn't have to use AI to write papers, sir. We didn't
Yeah.
have to generate AI prompts and like this bullshit that you younger kids do. Like, bro, we had to write papers. We had to have first drafts and rough drafts and final drafts. And
Yeah.
remember that shit? And professors beat our ass with that. So, yeah. And now AI is doing it, and they have to create software to like sense the fact that this is AI generated. And by the way, if you can't tell when you read something from someone you know or in your circle or whatever, like this whole thing is generated by AI versus how they normally talk, like come on, like it's so
We
obvious.
just gotta train the AI better.
When I graduated,
I give AI a bunch of my writings. It's like, this is how I write. Make sure you match this, please.
Right, match to that, please. Make sure it's Louis AI.
And stop with the dashes.
when I graduated from college, I saw about 5 people with grad caps on that had the ChatGPT
Oh my god.
on their heads. Like they graduated from AI University, and they're proud. They were like flaunting it.
Did you see the video of that kid from UCLA, the Asian kid who's like, check out my ChatGPT logs, and this is how I passed all the papers and all the tests. He just posted that shit in the graduation. Did not care.
Did they take it away?
They didn't care. No.
You know what's really funny about that? It's because I can't even get a job unless I have a 4-year degree. And I'm like, really? Because I can run circles around these motherfuckers who use ChatGPT. Okay? Stupid. It's stupid. It's stupid that people require that shit.
You can't
these
outsource
days.
your brain, dude.
And you should really go up based off of the person's abilities, because a lot of
Yeah.
people, they might be able to use ChatGPT, but they don't know how
Sure.
to.
Look, we can't outsource your own human capacity of thoughts and problem solving and coordination, whatever. You can't outsource your brain. Okay, if you say I'm just gonna outsource everything to a machine, bro, we might as well be in the Matrix. We might as well just come on. Let Skynet go active because human beings don't give a shit. Apparently, like we're just gonna outsource everything to machines. Come on, man.
Yeah.
It's game
So
over.
if that's the blue pill, what's the red pill? What's the alternative?
Exactly. We live in the Matrix, okay? And this will be an ongoing discussion. It's it's not one. But the first thing is, do you really believe everything you see? Everything you watch on the news, everything the media says? Because as soon as I realized that you can't trust media reports from mainstream media networks like CNN and MSNBC, because social media, like especially the uncensored one, which like X by Elon, shout out Elon, there are always conflicting reports of actual media-based reports on numbers of COVID deaths or COVID cases or election results. It's just now I can't trust them. So that tells me that is the Matrix, right? I mean, have you not experienced that?
No. I'm just kidding. Yes, I have. No, it is kind of weird. Sometimes things just feel a little odd, like we have this illusion of choice, and I feel like all the choices are made for us already, and they're making it seem like we have choices, but I don't think we really do. I think it comes down even from when you're a child and what you're being taught and what school you go to. Like, things are being taught differently at what school, because I've been to a poor school and a rich school, and it's all different because your choices are being made for you, you know?
Well, because everything's already invented.
Yeah.
You know, what's
There you
left?
go.
What's left to invent?
What is left to invent?
Because the things that are new, the things that are cutting edge, take so much education and knowledge of the field
Yeah.
that you can really only commit to like 1 or 2 things in your life if you really wanted to.
That is damn good question. What is left to invent? I don't even want to ponder that question too much because I don't know where it's gonna go. But I mean, we're talking sci-fi now because like interstellar travel, time travel, blah 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 blah, like spaceships, flying cars, the things that we've grown up in watching in movies. That's our imagination. That's our limitation essentially. But like we're advancing so fast. The AI race, by the way, AI race is just 2025 versions of the Y2K, of the Google search engine. You were young, man, when this happened, but Google, Yahoo, MSN, they were real competing companies and tech companies at the time. They were Yahoo used to matter. Yeah. We used to care about Yahoo.
Every
now
time I see someone with a Yahoo email, I was like, what the world?
They're definitely showing their
What in
age.
the world?
If they use Yahoo search, yeah.
How do you still have
You're
Yahoo?
at least 50, dude.
Yeah.
There's no way anyone searches for
There's
shit
some
on
people
Yahoo.
who still have AOL emails. I was like, I don't even know AOL was around still.
AOL.
AOL chat.
AIM, yeah.
Yeah.
Yo.
Actually, I didn't use AIM myself. I
used
know
AIM.
everyone in high school used AIM. Everybody, for sure.
Yeah, we definitely used AIM. We used those chat rooms
All the
when we were
time.
younger.
And there was no like, hey,
Little
don't be
14-year-old.
racist. There's no censorship on that shit, right?
No one cared.
Hey, girl, what are you doing later? LOL.
Yep.
Also, IMG, OMG, IK,
Jesus.
TTYL. So yeah, man. So anyway, all that being said, look, man, I'm not trying to scare folks. We're not trying to like scare people that we should be afraid of the future. No one should be afraid of the future. The future is coming. Time moves forward. Breaking news. Time never goes back. Okay, so wishing about the past is not going to do you any favors. Okay, pondering about the good old days. Yes. Was the 90s awesome? Yes. If you grew up in the 90s. Was the 2000s pretty fun? Yes. Minus 9/11, etc. And the 2008 recession. Yeah. Other than that, it was pretty fun. Do a lot of folks wish we can go back? Yes. Can you go back? No. Stop worrying about it. Focus on today. The only time you have is now, and therefore, you should have you do what you want. But to me, having a positive outlook is the best way to go about life in the future. Is there things of concern that you might want to think about, like AI's relevance and dating being completely flipped on its head, relationships? Yes, but that's not to say not to look forward to the future and the possibilities and be positive a little bit, you know?
Yeah, and I would say it's okay to reinvent the wheel. It's okay to do something that people have done in the past, because experimenting with concepts that we already know, that leads to understanding of those concepts, and you're decreasing the gap between understanding and all these tools that are being given to us. You know, I still remember my science experiments I did in high school.
Wow, you do?
You know, the elephant toothpaste, silver nitrate, making a mirror on like a little ornament for a Christmas tree.
Wow.
I mean, that stuff really sticks with me. And I remember my first, my inspiration and understanding of pH values in college was actually benzoic acid, recrystallization of benzoic acid. And when you lower the pH of it, it allows the ions of sodium benzoate to bond with the hydrogen. And I literally saw before my eyes it would crystallize in the little flask that I had. And you can also reverse the reaction by increasing the pH, adding sodium bicarbonate, and it'll ionize again. It'll dissolve into solution. So
That's a good scientific brain, sir.
oh yeah, and
I don't
seeing,
remember any of that shit. I remember cutting up a frog.
That's more like
I remember cutting up a frog. That's all.
cutting
I
up a
remember.
frog. We did have an experiment
I
where
remember cutting up a cat and having there were little
God,
little
cats?
cats in there. Yeah.
Man, I hate whichever professor okayed that. I hate them. That's not cool.
Yeah, it was a little weird because the guys were all playing around. It's gross.
Yeah. I only did the dissecting thing once, but honestly, chemistry was tough for me. It took me time to grasp that, but I guess in high school I took some advanced classes that I wasn't mentally ready for, like advanced geometry or whatever. But anyway, all that being said, like, okay, I wanted to talk about education as a idea completely being changed today. Okay, you don't necessarily need to go to a school to learn anything. You have what? The internet. You have your
Tons
laptop.
of resources.
You have YouTube. You have Instagram. I mean, whatever. I honestly think the whole concept of school education is gone.
Yeah.
I really think it's over. I think it's just like the dinosaurs, just like newspapers or whatever. I think it's also an old school concept too.
I just think it needs to be rethought because there are different types of people and different ways of learning, and it no longer fits. The whole trajectory of somebody going to school, graduating, going to college, then going to work is no longer a thing.
Bro,
Like
no,
you don't
it's
need to
over.
do that stuff, right?
All that paper is a measure of your merit and your work ethic, saying I can dedicate myself.
If it really meant that, because a lot of people didn't really work hard.
We can agree that that's another example of what is the matrix. That is the matrix. Okay, from a young age you were said go to school, make good grades, get a degree, get a job, and you're set. Guess what? Everyone else is competing for the same jobs, and it's really harder than ever to get a job at all. Okay, everyone has degrees. Okay, then you go try to get further degrees. That is an old school 1970s whatever thought process. That just degrees equals success. If that's true, why are there 18-year-old YouTubers multimillionaires? Right? Why is there Mr. Beast is 25, biggest YouTuber in the world, like almost a billionaire or whatever, right? So it's technology, YouTube, hopefully podcasts, etc. It's completely flipped the script. Look, my kids, I already decided in the future they're not going to know regular elementary school, and God forbid if they're going to teach that BS like if they're going to get into gender politics and that kind of BS. Because no sir, I'm not going to let my kid is not. I don't want my kid to be exposed to that. I'm going to homeschool my future kid as much as humanly possible. And I want them to instill, I believe I can instill values. And honestly, if you want to teach them math, 1 + 1 or whatever the hell, science, reading, you can do that on YouTube. You can do that online, right? So I don't think the need for the old school, the old fashioned school program is there. That being said, at a certain point, you need to socialize. So we're social creatures. You can't isolate yourself from society. You're never going to be successful. And you have to be part of society. So for me, until age 10 or something, that's my thought process, right?
So how would you compensate for the social interaction, this social growth?
Family club time, not family club time, but like family time, soccer clubs, pottery class, whatever the hell. There's plenty of ways to socialize, right?
Well, how do you control what was being taught to kids? Because I feel like they had a way to control. Because the government controlled what was being taught. Yeah. But how do you make sure that everyone's at the same level? How can we determine that a sixth grader is up to sixth grade? Because that's what's going to get complicated. That when everybody's teaching people in different ways, sixth grade isn't really sixth grade anymore. Because sixth grade could be for one kid who has amazing parents, can be.
That and reading levels. A lot of kids are suffering from reading.
My little niece reads a lot, and she's little. But my sister made sure she read. But the people at her class can't read. To save her life.
So welcome to 2025, where the concept of reading is now we are so ingrained with this tech stuff that the basic thing of which by the way, if 500 years ago, half the population couldn't read anyway, right? Because this is 500 years ago. It's just that was society back then. So something we take for granted because you learn from a young age is now something that a lot of people can't do because we're so ingrained with this. I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that YouTube should be my sole source of education for a child. I didn't say that. I'm saying the whole classroom, first grade through fifth grade, education, 1 + 1 is 2, basic math, basic science, basic English, basic history. None of that needs a classroom. You have all that information on the internet. The source of all of human knowledge is in our phones. It's at the tip of your fingers. Do you see what I'm saying? So welcome to 2025. The times have changed.
Yeah, and I would also say it's really important to understand what inspires kids as well, because I used to teach piano. I taught piano for a couple years,
Yeah.
and I would start kids off with the basics. You know, how to read notes, how to identify notes on the piano, scales, chords, the building blocks, right? And that's kind of like the veggies you got to eat. You got to understand the language before you can apply things.
I took music. I used to play saxophone back in high school, but then I stopped.
Right. It's ubiquitous to any sort of musical education is learning the basic theory.
Yeah.
But once you learn the theory, I would start saying, okay, what kind of movies do you like? You know, do you like Disney? Do you like Star Wars? You know, like what kind of songs like speak to you? And then I would obtain copies of certain songs, and they would learn them overnight, or like 2 or 3 days. Like they would pick it up so quickly. So it just goes to show, why am I learning this thing? What is the purpose and meaning that it gives to me?
Yeah.
And when you find something that resonates with you and speaks to you, I mean, you know, kids just absorb things like a sponge. You know,
So it's like the reason behind learning, not just learning itself. So
the application.
The application. I had a college professor who put it this way, right? Anyone can memorize facts. Anyone can memorize history dates and whatever. Anyone, that's called rote memorization, if I'm not mistaken. But how is that actually learning? Like, because I don't give a shit that the Magna Carta was signed in 1215. That information is pointless outside of the classroom, right? For the most part. Now, if you're playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and that happens to be a question, that's like a once in a million chance anyway, right? Is that going to benefit you? Yes. But how much of school have we need to use after school? Like math, and not even advanced math, basic math, basic knowledge of your state history and U.S. history, July 4th, 1776. No one cared about all the other little details. It was Revolutionary War, Civil War, World War I, World War II. We know all those dates, and we know when it happened and why, or where. And science, like you're in the medical field, right? So you need a better understanding of science and how to replicate the scientific process. But look, on a day-to-day basis, what do we need to do? Like, okay, what's a better way to wash my dishes? What's a more efficient route to get to the office?
How do I budget?
How do I budget? Exactly. So most of school did not apply, man. It's just like you learn this shit as you get older and like in real life situation, you know?
Yeah.
I think history is important to teach, but you're right. We need to learn things that are like finance, and I didn't get taught finance.
Did any school freaking teach you how to balance a budget
Nobody.
sheet? Hell no. But thank God for the Pythagorean theorem, which no one ever used.
I don't remember it.
Do you even remember?
A squared plus B squared equals C
right?
squared.
Finding that X
He
really
knows it.
bothered the fuck out of me.
And there was that. What was that other one? Was that other theorem that like the square root of whatever that?
The quadratic formula.
That's the one.
Negative B plus or minus.
We had to
square root of-
memorize the shit out of that. And has anyone
You
used
know
that
what?
once?
I was like, why does he know all this? Because he's closer to it. It's been years for me.
He's more closer to that. It's been
Yeah, I was like,
years.
wait, I can't remember. How does he remember all
Bro,
this
no
stuff?
one has ever once, unless you're a mathematician, no one has ever used that stupid formula, quadratic formula. No way. So, look, man, 1 + 1 is 2, and the Earth and the Sun. There's 8 planets. By the way, there's 8 now. There's not 9. Sorry, Pluto. There's the astronomy, biology, physics, blah 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 blah. Anyone can learn that. Where? YouTube, the internet, this.
And one class I really wish I would have taken was home life skills.
Exactly.
Like how to patch up a hole in your jeans.
Oh, I have the answer to that. Just go on YouTube.
Disco.
How did we do
YouTube.
it without YouTube? Remember before YouTube?
I don't know how the hell we did it.
I had the encyclopedia, and I literally had to go, okay, so that would be an H. Pull out the book, H.
Man,
Did you remember that?
I don't even, bro. Do you even remember life before GPS on your freaking phone? Because I don't.
Bro, I had the map.
I don't.
I had the big ass Thomas Guide map, and I had to be
No
like
way
this.
you remember that. Before GPS on your phone.
This was in 08.
There's no way, kid.
We kind of got GPS around 08.
I've always had Google Maps.
You know, I recently figured out how to use a compass for directions. Never eat soggy waffles, right?
What's a compass?
Yeah, because or never eat sloppy worms or whatever, whatever.
Northeast, west,
northeast,
south,
southwest.
Yeah.
And Google Maps, it automatically points you in the direction of where you're going.
Yes.
And I recently learned, it's actually better if you always keep it north, because then you have a sense of direction.
Correct.
Because if you're always pointing in the direction you're going, you don't know what direction you're going.
Yeah.
So it's actually important to, because if I want to get from Fort Worth to Dallas, okay, am I going east or am I going west?
Do you know what's funny? So I came because I'm from LA, or not from LA, but I lived there
Cali.
before there was GPS, right? So I know LA. I know LA like the back of my hand because I had to use
LA's tough.
because I had to use maps. So I know all the little tiny places you can get through. I know how to get through the valley. I
You know how to
get
stay out of
over
Compton?
I know how to. No, I lived in Compton, and then I had how to get through it. But in Texas, I don't know how to get around in Texas. One, because the roads are stupid, and dumb. And two,
And dangerous.
and dangerous. Honestly, it's the worst fucking thing I've ever met. It is literally the worst.
Speaking of, so what really grinds your gears, sir? Would you say Texas roads is really grinds your gears?
100%. You see how smooth that was?
Speaking of grinding,
Grinding. I haven't done that for a while.
grinding your gears, yeah. So you don't like Texas? You think? What about Texas roads? Like the
It's the most dumbest thing I've ever seen, honestly. It's so stupid. I just don't fucking understand how people designed this and thought, yeah, that looks good. Like, you go in here, and you come out on the left, but the next thing,
Is
the
the
next
exit?
exit is all the way
Is
to
all
the
to the
right,
right,
and it's
yeah.
like 6 lanes. There's no signs prior saying, hey, by the way, you're going to have to get all the way to the right.
Okay.
There's no sign. There's like, and then if you miss that exit, it doesn't go by every mile. It goes, who knows? They pick and choose. What is it? 1 mile? Is it 2 miles? It's the worst.
Yeah. I've only lived in 3 states: Texas, Arkansas, and Georgia. Personally, I think Texas infrastructure is the best, if you ask me.
The best.
That being said, now of those 3, but honestly, I don't see myself leaving anyway, for the long term.
Texas?
I don't, not for the long term. Yeah, I've done for the short term, but I'm not leaving for the long term.
ready to
That's
leave.
another topic. But what was I gonna say? First of all, you have GPS on your phone, so that's your first clue, sir. Like what the exit's
but
coming.
Google doesn't even tell you. Fucking Google. You know where it's like there's this place where like 30 east, 75, and all these, and then Google says go 35 north, and you're like okay,
Google's
and then all of a sudden it says, oh, by the way, right after you get there, you got to go take a left. Instead of telling me, hey, you're gonna take a left, it's just.
I swear to God, Uber drivers use Google Maps because they know it's going to be a longer route and you'll pay them more for it.
Okay, so do you use Waze? Do you use different
Waze
one?
is better.
Waze,
My
Apple
experience.
Maps.
Apple Map is so stupid too.
Apple Maps?
Really?
I heard
Apple
I
is
haven't
the
used
most
that.
dumbest fucking thing ever because it makes you go around and makes you
I haven't
turn
used
for
Apple
no
Maps
reason.
ever, bro. In fact, 10 years ago when it was like between that or Google, I'm just like Google's better. But I haven't had once. Do you like it?
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, but as far as infrastructure goes, there's always this incentive by the city where they have these contracts they make for roads, right? And the longer the contract is, the more they get paid. So it's like, what's the incentive for fixing the roads?
Yeah.
Wait, say that again, please.
So there's a contract of like, we're going to pay you for this much work for the roads, right? But there's always delays. There's weather, there's traffic, there's things going on. So, I mean, this is just a conspiracy theory at this point, but it's like, what's the incentive to get the roads finished and paved by a certain amount of time if you just extend the contract and get paid more by the city?
So that's why 35 is never going to be completed in my lifetime, essentially? That's what you're telling me?
Probably. Dude, it took
have you
me...
been there? It's the worst freaking highway. I avoided it like the plague, bro.
What's
Yeah.
the freeway that does a big circle?
That's 635.
That's the most dumbest thing. Why a circle? You never know if you're going north, south. You don't know where the fuck you are. It's like, what is this? Who designed this?
No, okay, but for Texans, if you live in Texas like we do, or you grew up here,
You grew up here.
35 north and south, especially going towards downtown, is by far the worst segment of highway I ever go on, and it's never stopped construction. And if I have to get to work, if I had to go longer on a different highway, like for example, 635 from where I start from 121 to like Highway 75 is way better patch of highway compared to that. I will do it. You know? Yeah. What was that?
I mean, that pretty much wraps that up. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that grinds my gears too. The construction, but here's another way to look at it. Here's a reframe. I started using this. Okay, so I started using this called reframing concept, right? Where we have to do things every day that kind of suck. That's not fun, but you have to do it. The dishes, walking the dog, maybe some workout or exercise, maybe some vacuuming or whatever. That's part of being an adult. Fine. Instead of saying I have to do this, simply reframe it, saying I get to do this. Saying I get to wash my dishes because I have a kitchen and dishes to wash.
It's an opportunity.
Because there's people in the world, a lot, maybe majority don't.
Yeah.
I get to get lost because I have a car. I
There
get
you
to
go.
pay for gas because I got money.
It's an opportunity.
It's an opportunity.
I get to get lost on these highways, man. I get to test Google Maps here.
I get to be forced to pay for a tollway. Yeah. Yeah, I get to. Cause I
Well,
got a car.
we get the luxury and privilege as middle class citizens to afford the time to organize and structure our environment.
Yeah.
You know? And so you have a vision, you have a goal in mind. And the way I approach things, if I want to motivate myself to get something done, I think of this vision or this goal, and then I think of the steps in order to reach this goal.
Yeah.
And I kind of live by Nike, you know, just do it. Just fucking do it, man. Like,
I'm glad you said that because I have, for people who don't know, I have an entrepreneurial background that prompted my desire to want to podcast in the first place. And everything I learned actually about success comes from there. And everything in life kind of comes down to simply goal setting, to having goals and not having goals. People who don't have goals won't go nowhere because you're not aiming towards anything, okay? And there's people like that. Hey, whatever, do you, okay? However, if you want to, there is no life without goals because you can't accomplish something if you don't know what it is you want, and you can't get to a destination if you don't know what that is. And then you figure out what road I take, what path I take.
That's why I use Google Maps.
Google Maps is
or Apple Maps, whatever.
Exactly. So having goals is essential for life. You have to have it, and hey man, how are you gonna lose weight if you don't have a goal to hit the gym at a certain regular basis? Yeah. How are you gonna be on top of the AI thing and learn skills about AI if you don't have a goal to do so, right? How are you gonna improve in your career? How are you gonna meet someone for your long-term purposes or whatever? It's all comes down to goals. So without goals, there is no game essentially. Can't play a game. Right?
And also addressing your desire and motivation to reach those goals too.
Yes.
Because a lot of people don't know what their motivation is. They don't have direction or purpose, you know, because all this purpose and meaning is being given to them. It's a consumer culture. We're not producing enough.
Oh my God, isn't it? Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So let's finish up with a couple of fun segments, I guess. Anyone watch any fun movies recently? I'll tell you what I watched.
Jesus, I haven't watched a movie. I stopped going to the movie theaters because I just fall asleep. I have sleep issues. I just went to a sleep doctor because it turns out I haven't slept since I was 22. So.
Wow. Even with all the caffeine and everything?
Bro, I'm falling asleep and I have been drinking coffee all day long.
Are you serious? How many cups?
This is like my third.
Third cup?
Yeah.
Okay, that is some serious situation.
Well, you know, when I was 22, my roommates used to find me all over the house. They would find me on the staircase reaching for my room.
Yeah.
Because I would have, it's not narcolepsy because it's very slim chance that I have narcolepsy, but I do have sleep issues.
Okay.
I fall asleep anywhere. everywhere.
That's actually okay. So it's like our actual personal condition situation.
Yes, I sleep a lot. Well, I don't sleep a lot, which is the problem. But I do pull over all the time and sleep. On the way here, I slept in the car to
Damn.
get a little nap. Yeah.
All right. So if you're not answering, I know what's going on. You're just asleep, essentially. If I'm not getting
100%. Yeah, 100%. If I'm not answering, it's because I'm sleeping.
Okay, so Mr. I fall asleep in movies. He ain't going to the theater. Mr. Andrew, anything?
The last movie I watched was the new Final Destination movie.
Ooh,
I
was that
haven't
good?
seen it.
Was that good?
Plot sucked ass.
okay.
Does anyone really go for the plot?
No, they all go to see the creative,
Accidents.
fucked up ways that people die.
Yeah.
Was that blonde girl in there? Was that the got hot Tua girl?
The Hawk Tua girl?
Yeah, was she in that
Hell
movie?
no.
I don't know.
no.
I
You
don't
didn't
think
see her,
so.
right?
It's
No,
not.
okay.
No,
No.
It's not
that
her.
chick fell off.
No.
She fell off the thing. Yeah.
But I do remember this one scene. The spoiler alert if you haven't watched the movie.
I mean,
But
do people care? Go ahead.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But this one guy was being pulled into an MRI machine.
Oh shit.
Because he had his nips pierced and then his
Oh.
thing pierced. So
Ugh.
you just see him like being pulled forward, and then a wheelchair comes behind him and crams him in. And he's just like, he's just being like forced in the machine. I'm like, that is crazy.
You know how you know you're in a millennial? No one my age or younger is driving behind a freaking log truck on the highway ever again. Thanks to Final Destination.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Zero. You see a log truck, I'm getting the hell away from that thing.
Logs. Dude, I drove once and I saw a brick just fall off a car and it was heading straight for my windshield.
Oh,
and
shit.
It just
Are you
swerved.
serious?
Yeah.
Well, this was like a construction kind of a truck or something?
Mason or something. I don't know what you call those people, but
Yeah.
the people that build bricks for houses, and the stack was like, just one brick came and I saw it flying towards my window, and I knew how to. I just reacted. It was just instant.
Well, good reaction. Do you have superpowers, sir, that we don't know about? Spidey senses?
I can read people very well.
Speaking of superpowers,
Yeah.
so Superman, new movie just dropped, and it's funny, right? I grew up being the biggest Superman fan. Like, if you knew me 10 years ago, I was absolutely obsessed with Superman, and I like superhero movies in general. I don't know how you guys feel about superhero movies as a whole, Marvel, DC, whatever floats your boat. For some reason, this movie, which I tend to watch a lot of reviews by YouTubers and stuff. There's a culture war right now. There's like a war between fans, like because a lot of people
hate it.
A lot of people love it. A lot of people are being paid to say they love it, and then people are like, "Bro, like this movie is like a cartoon. Like it's not meant to be. He's not that fun, and he's getting his ass kicked." So. It's like a culture war happening, a nerd culture war.
Nerd bashing.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, it's not enough to say I like a movie or I don't like a movie. It's like now you represent like an entire section of a freaking culture war without any care. So
I mean, it taps into tribalism, just like two football teams. People
Yes.
talking about who won, who lost, who had the injury, who sucked on the team. It's
yeah.
people like to belong to a tribe.
Yes.
Did you
we
see
do.
the movie?
Superman?
Yeah.
Not Superman, but I will say, okay, Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, shocking. It's meh. It's dinosaurs on an island again. We haven't seen that 100 times, right? First movie I ever watched in my life was the first Jurassic Park. It went downhill from there, right? But phenomenal. The first one, phenomenal.
That was your first movie?
Jurassic Park, the first one. Yeah, I was like 4 years old, whatever. But yeah, shocking. The story about dinosaurs, number 6, 7, not great. But even for just bare minimum dinosaurs and human, it's like, it's meh. You know what really was a good movie? F1. Okay?
Really?
Best movie of the summer. The biggest. It's probably not going to make the most money. To me, the best summer blockbuster, hands down. I am into Formula One because of this movie now. I'm watching Formula One highlights on YouTube.
European racing is so much more fun to watch because,
God.
with NASCAR, it's like turn left, like in a loop.
I cannot watch NASCAR. I cannot. But Formula One, they're actually doing corners at 150.
Definitely.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
pulling G forces of like six G's or something. Man, it's insane. The director of Top Gun Maverick directed this movie, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. The cameras are in the race cars. Brad Pitt's driving. He's driving the car for real. He's going up to 180 in the movie.
Really?
Yeah. Now, is he actually doing races all the way? No. But like to get the shot of him driving from scene to scene, from race to race.
Doing the stuff.
Yes.
It's on him.
He's doing it. And the other dude. The cameras, Apple installed specialized cameras in the F1 cars. Now, FYI, it's actually, I heard it's F2 cars that look like F1 cars. Slightly slower, still going 150. It's really fast still. But cameras are on Brad Pitt, who's really cool still. And then cameras are outside of the F1 car, or the Formula car.
So they have to have cars separately driving
Yes.
to get the shot.
Yeah.
There's the outside
Oh,
shot of the cars, and then there's them in the car driving while they do it too. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. Don't they have the
So cool.
truck on a like thing, and then they follow it?
I mean,
Or is he actually driving and then someone's just going?
okay, so they have cameras in the car and around the car,
Oh, wow.
around the F1 car. Okay, because you see Brad Pitt's expressions as he's like inside the driver's seat or whatever, and he's making turns. And as he's turning or making turns on the wheel, the audience sees the car drive. Like, oh, Sonny Hayes has overtaken Lewis Hamilton on this turn, and it's a race to the finish line here, and like you see him like moving accordingly, bro. If you watch Top Gun Maverick, which is one of the best films of this decade, by the way, you're gonna love F1. It's 9 out of 10. Go back to the theater. Try not to fall asleep. You're gonna love it.
I'll probably watch it. I need to go back to. I actually enjoy the theater when I can stay up. Like I saw, what's that movie called? I know which movie I saw. Sinners.
That's a good one.
That one was amazing,
That
and
was
I was
awesome.
awake the whole fucking time.
That's a good one. Yeah.
But then I had to pray because I felt like that was demonic.
That was cool. That was a little bit demonic. Yeah.
It was super demonic.
F1 was good. But.
I was gonna, I'm not much for superhero movies, but I will say The Boys. Have you ever seen the series The Boys?
Awesome.
I have thoughts on that.
Oh,
I stopped at the end of season 3. That's where I left off.
Okay.
Why?
Because you're up to date with him.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. It's a really subversive show, and it's a parody of the superhero genre as in general, and the superhero thing, and it's very grotesque at times. There's a lot of cultural, political themes in there, and I can't stand like the fact that Amazon is also like they showed like their own like VOT company that represents like the top monopoly of a corporation that's in everything. There's a lot of that, but okay, after season 3, I'm like, do I really want to keep watching the same like this kind of thing again? And because these characters like they're so extreme, and the I think there's a lot of shock factor. Like
There's tons of shock factor.
it's just shock factor. So oh my god, I can't believe he punched through this person, or he killed like Homelander is a crazy, just a absolutely psychopathic superhero, scary thing. But I don't really want to keep going. Personally, it was great. I think I enjoyed up until then. But
That's
I don't know.
fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I was definitely intrigued by the aspect of monopolization of superheroes and how it's all about the dollar, and also exploring the hero archetypes. Like, what does it actually mean to be a hero, and what's the fall of a hero?
Yeah.
Who's truly the heroes and who are truly the villains? You know, and the boys being kind of like this underdog uprising. Like, we're gonna fight back. We're gonna expose the truth for who these people are.
Yeah.
You know,
And
because
by the way, they're not necessarily good guys, Mister. The boys themselves. They're almost like a militia. They're almost like a vigilante group. That's
vendetta,
trying to take out. But they're the means that. Exactly. What means are you willing to? Oh, this reminds me of Squid Games. I'm not gonna get into that.
I haven't seen Squid.
I'm not gonna spoil. It was traumatic. I am not happy with season 3. But
See,
anyway.
I have ADHD, so it's hard for me to watch something, sit down and watch it, and not do other things. And since I have to read subtitles, which used to be my job, but now I can't do it.
Yeah, it is okay. Ignoring that.
Yeah.
What was I saying? So, the boys, I don't yeah, it's saying the same message. It is touching on all those things. It's very subversive. It's very shock factor way. So, I most of the audience just wants to see the main bad guy go down, and it's just a question of is he now. Yeah. So I mean, that was kind of what I was going to a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you know which show I was watching?
God, do I want to know what show you're watching?
Happy Shiny People.
Happy shiny people.
Happy Shiny People. Have you heard about it?
Please, no. I have a feeling this is going to be a fun, interesting one.
So Happy Shiny People is about cults, which I actually watch a lot of these cult murder stuff. And the second season's about to come out. And it turns out I was part of a cult, and it's gonna be on Prime
my God.
Video.
Wow.
It's not really a cult.
Yeah.
They did very culty things, but they did a lot of culty things actually.
We're going to have to talk about that in a future episode, I guess.
Yeah.
Because, sir, cult. Did you know you were in one until you got out? No, I'm kidding.
No, I didn't know. But I did know we were doing very culty things, and everyone who was my family thought that I was in a cult.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you're 18.
Well, let's add that to the list.
Yeah, let's do it.
On my Netflix. Yeah, I don't know about you. Anyway, anything on Netflix or streaming that's piqued your interest?
Man, I gotta say I'm less focused on shows right now and more trying to
Nice.
build my career
Respect.
and establish my place because I moved recently.
Yeah,
It's been a pretty
congrats.
big transition for me. So
Good stuff.
Where'd you move?
Absolutely.
In Denton?
yeah, just in
Oh,
Denton.
sorry.
5 minutes from my old place, but it's all about creating an environment which gives you peace and
Yeah.
living with mature people, especially roommates. Be careful about who your roommates are.
I'm glad you said that. This will be one of our final things. I no longer wish to have a roommate ever again if I'm not married to them. You know what I'm saying? To her, to be clear. But I had roommate experience one time. After that, no. I will pay more per month to be myself than to deal with someone else's BS whom I barely know and barely care about, and have to worry about them on top of my everyday life. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you have a family, obviously that's family, so it's not a stranger or whatever. So you have to make it work somehow anyway. However, as soon as I went through that 1 year of roommate situation and then I moved away, I'm like, I can't do this roommate thing. I don't have the capacity to deal with some random person's bull BS and come up with rules and come up with boundaries, and then we confuse whose lunch. Like I actually had a lunch confusion. Someone took a container with food that was supposed to be mine, and they thought it was theirs, and they like, bro, why is this not my food?
Oh
It was
man,
in
that
the
would
container.
piss me off.
I know, and by the way, it was neither of us.
How do you
fault, 'cause
confuse
the
whose lunch it is?
because the container looked identical, and both of us our foods were in the same little
Oh,
container, and
that
like
makes sense.
and a third party family member, not to call anyone out, just without thinking, because it's still our property,
Yeah.
without thinking, put the food in the container there, but this person confused their food with my food. You see my point? Like that's just
Yeah.
shit that'll happen with a roommate.
Well, and one of my biggest fears is forming a romantic relationship with someone, moving in, and then it doesn't work out, and now you guys are just roommates, bringing people back to your place. Like that's.
I wouldn't even. I would get out or make him get out or something.
Or having to sleep on the couch, like fuck
Real
that.
quick, the big word to the wise. I know a friend who one of the biggest mistakes he made was co-sign a lease of a chick that he used to date, didn't stop dating. He kept paying the stupid lease. Can you imagine doing that? That you're dating someone, you co-sign a lease, but you're still liable, even if you broke up, and
She's not paying the rent.
she necessarily didn't pay or whatever. Now that's his story. I don't know all the details, but word to the wise: don't co-sign a lease with someone that you're not for sure in something together. Okay, like that's just a bad idea. You're opening the door for a you see what I'm saying? Like a bad story there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You see my point? So anyway, last thoughts. So anyway, let's wrap this up. It's been fun, gentlemen, on the Saturday. Any other closing thoughts? And let's try to keep it PG-13, I guess. I'm looking at you, ADHD guy.
Well, I'm definitely going to be working on some origami That's kind of my new thing. I go in phases with things. So right now I'm into Japanese kusudama origami, which is like this sacred geometry. You make a lot of small pieces and you put them together to form something symmetrical. So that's kind of my thing for this weekend.
Nice.
Yep.
Or I think in school we used to mess around before your time, my friend. I think to pass the time, some autistic kid would just take paper and make origami out of it out of nowhere. I was like,
What are you trying to say, Mosh?
Y'all remember the star thing? Oh God, I'm dating myself.
The ninja stars?
The ninja stars.
Yeah,
that's a freaking millennial high school bullshit we used to do. For sure.
And drawing the super S's on the paper.
Gen Z, you have no idea what that is. This is what we used to do before social media, okay?
Yeah.
There's no social media back then.
Yeah, we had to entertain ourselves.
I feel like silly bands are making a comeback, though.
Silly bands?
Yeah, you know those little rubber bands are in little shapes, and then people wear it around their arms.
Oh yeah.
Trade it.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Hell, I remember that. Okay.
So.
Yeah, man. Okay. Well, it's been real. I think we can wrap this up for today, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. Andrew, thank you. Luis, thank y'all. If you guys like this episode, please hit the like button, share, subscribe for more. And as always, it's all just in perspective. See you guys later. Peace.
See ya.